Very warm good evening. This is Arunava Chaudhuri. You are live on my YouTube channel, Arunfoot. It is Thursday, the 5th of February, and another Indian football and more discussion on the channel as we are slowly closing in on the start date of the Indian Super League season 2025-2026. Yes, that's supposed to start in 9 days on the 14th of February, and there is a little bit of actions here and there. Um, let's wait and see what all happens. Amongst the news that were out today, on one side, Nuno Rice has signed for Mumbai City Football Club. So, looking at their squad, looking at the training of the team, it looks like the club decided that, you know what, we should try and bring in a foreign defender. TG Purushothaman has been named head coach of Odisha FC. There were, I think, three or four Indian coaches in the running for the job, and it seems like TG Purushothaman was the one that they finally took. While the India under 20s have traveled to Sweden for an exposure trip ahead of the AFC under 20 women's championship in April, which will be, of course, a big test for our young girls. So, those are some of the news. And if you haven't, like, share, and subscribe to Arun Foot, even if you're watching it afterwards, support the channel as always. Thank you from my side. And of course, watch my short videos. I had done something yesterday morning in regard to um, how the valuation of the media rights come about, and we talk about that and other things. So therefore, watch the short video, support the channel. We stand at the moment at 3,737 subscribers. Thank you very much. 3737 is the number. Slowly moving towards the 4,000 mark. And again, as always, as I say, I need your support. And yeah, thanks a lot for that. I mean, honestly, just don't get relegated, says Aditya. Yeah, let's wait and see, Aditya. I think it's not going to be an easy season. Let's see what happens. Hi, Kumar. Hi, Augusto. Kumar says fan code released cheapest subscription pass, but still some ideas are illegal stream links for free. Kumar, again, this is, you know, uh, uh, you know, uh, um, um, the problem of the Indian football fan is, and I said this on Jagde Football. I think you've seen what I've released on my what has been released on Instagram by Basagal, where I clearly say that. And so therefore, for me, it's very very clear that if I see, to me, and yeah, it is very clear that the fans themselves need to realize, recognize what I want to do for Indian football. Do I want to be a passenger? Can I help Indian football? Do I want to help Indian football? And again, by voicing your opinions, by saying whatever you say, that's nice. But again, if you're being called on to pay 300 rupees for 3 months to watch the Indian Super League, if that is asking you too much, again, it doesn't speak for us. Uh, you know, you know, so this is it. When AFF wanted our women's head coach, we happily complied so that he can coach both women's teams of Disha and India. But when we asked for Viviano, they showed their true colors. Aditya, who says that? Simple question: who says that? Again, you're going by what has been said. Is it you know? Because I think your informations are wrong. Dada, what do you think about the broadcast deal? Isn't it restoring us from deluded to real valuation? Shivam, on one side, yes. On the other side, no, because the evaluation 2 years ago was done of the rights by a UK based company called Octagon, a sports management company, a sports rights company, and they valued it at that price, right? So the 275 crores which were paid at that time is a valuation done by an international company. So therefore, for me, you know. But I've said last year, I've said this year, the valuation of the league has gone down. It's gone down to close to zero. I think don't compare it with the 8.6 crores. I think even that comparison, and this shows me how much people understand the valuation of media rights and all. Take the 10 lakhs for linear broadcast. That is actually your comparison, 275 to 10 lakhs. So, right, not the eight. Therefore, a lot of people are saying a lot of things. Therefore, let's wait and see what happens. India U20 have very tough group. They may be the best among the three. The group says Japan, Australia, and Chinese Taipei. Yeah. Um, so you know, it will be interesting to see what they do, but yeah, not an easy one, huh? Piracy is everywhere. Why Indians blame for it, Arunda? Aditya, I don't care what is where else. I am caring about Indian football, and in Indian football, it's a problem, right? Where XYZ country doesn't matter to me. So therefore, this generalization. Sorry, because you yourself say I'll happily pay for fan code, right? That should be the attitude of the Indian football fan. Your duty, my duty, our duty is to ensure if someone wants to showcase Indian football, that they get a little bit of support from us, because otherwise fan court might say, thank you very much, shut up, I'm gone. Hi, Siddharth. Now, the Chuck Day football podcast released or not? No, Kumar, so far it is not released. Dava, I'm a student, and for this year, I'm only watching highlights rather than leaning towards pirated ones. Last year, I saw it full in Geo Hotstar, by the way. Good. But Shiva, my question is, even if you are a student, can't you afford 100 rupees a month to watch the matches? Just simple question at 299. If you can't, again, then I didn't ask, but that would be my something. I can confirm you from my side. Of course, I cannot say the source, but whatever I want to say is that Viviana was clearly the favorite. Therefore, were reluctant to release him. Arunda, I hope my club never trusts AIFF. Aditya, again, whatever your source from your side is, get another source. Because if you look at it, Bibiano didn't sign with the AFF for a certain period of time because he was hoping that one or the other club would come forward to sign him for the ISL. And I guess Odisha were front runners. Odisha didn't offer him, and then once he was back with the AFF, then suddenly the offer came. So therefore, right? So therefore, maybe get the story straight. Is there going to be a team pass, like a pass to watch all matches of a particular club, and clubs get the share of broadcast revenue on the basis of which club sells more passes? Someone done nowhere in the world, because normally you do it in a pool and it's then divided in the league. As far as I know, for me, I haven't heard anything. But again, if we're talking about a whole pass of 300 rupees for 3 months, they're asking you to pay 100 rupees a month. 100 rupees a month. If that is not of value and you're saying, hey, listen, do a team pass for 199, I don't know. Honestly, I would then give up of trying to convince people to do it. Another than India, this free sport watch or cricket is habituated for Hotstar or Geo Hotstar. Kumar, yes and no, because to me that there are two things that I come with this free watch culture. Forget even your cable television, your sports or your set top boxes. Yeah, um, so therefore for me, your cricket, your sporting packages and all that stuff. So therefore that's the problem. Now the amount fan code is asking just one movie ticket cost. Kumar, one movie ticket, yeah, whatever you want to. You can split it up to a lot of things, but cost 300 rupees these days. It is not asking much, right? So for me, sadly, it hasn't been done. Chuck the guy is doing it right. He's got 50K view in one of your podcast reels. Yes, Hannibal. Yes. Other than what we can expect from next year's media rights sale, is it going to be different or just follow this year's trend? Shivam, forget next year. Focus on this year. Why are we talking about next year? I've said this multiple times to some of you that I think we all need to focus on the now and the here rather than talking about next season, next year, whatever else you want to do. Fan code price has impressed me. Yeah, Rahul, it's a good price. Hey, Blue, I'm doing good. This budget's reality of Indian football. No, it doesn't. It reality again. I think La Liga costs also 299. If I'm not wrong, that's the reality. I think what people will pay. If fan code now said for 3 months, oh, pay me 500. Uh, 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 you know. So therefore, for me, it doesn't make any sense. So therefore, for me, that's the reality of where we stand. What be fan code sources of revenue from ISL besides the subscription by fans? I don't know much about the financial side of football. Can you please give a brief list? Fan code source is subscriptions. They don't have any, except maybe if they get people to sponsor the broadcast. Um, but I don't know when and where that will come from. Joachim Alexanderson got the U20 team. It will be really very hard for him against Japan, Australia, and Chinese Taipei. I hope he's not sacked after U20 AFC Asia Cup. I know, well, let's wait and see. Again, it's a tough one. And if you look at the schedule, Japan on the 2nd of April, Australia on the 5th of April, Chinese Taipei on the 8th. Yeah, it couldn't have gotten any tougher, I would say. Any parent are ready to give the money to watch a movie that is fan code pass money, says Kumar. Okay, yeah. How do you see Nuno rise to Mumbai City? Blue, I think it's a good thing by Mumbai City to get him player. He's been playing in Portugal. He's got regular game time. So from my perspective, I would say to get someone like a Nuno is good because you need experience. And so therefore for me, it's a wise move. And let's wait and see. So therefore, um, yeah, he brings a little bit of experience in that, and he's trained at Mohun Bagan. So therefore, let's wait and see what Mumbai City can do. And I think that gives a little bit of structure to the team at Mumbai City because now you have Nuno Rice at the back, you have Jorge Ortiz as a playmaker, you have Jorge Pereira Diaz as a striker. It gives a certain level of stability to the overall team, and that I think was very, very important, very, very needed at Mumbai City as well, I have to say. India beats as the 2005 Arunava top club Russian team 2-0 goes by Linda Komanjama. What's your assessment? Hitesh, I have none. As I've said to you in the past, I only see the results. I've not seen the matches. Very difficult. Again, it's good to see that they beat Hertha. Now they beat Svevda. Good. But again, I don't know what the quality is. I don't know how the match went. I don't know this way or that way. So therefore, I can't tell you anything. So when you is a sponsor coming for national team, Rahul, not at the moment. At the moment, I don't see anything. It depends a lot on what happens in the next few weeks and months. Rather, in the current scenario, at the brink of just being an adult, ask for even extra 200 rupees money just for entertainment from your parents feels painful and guilty. Yeah, but Shivam, if you, as a football fan, again, this is my observation. Don't see it. I don't see it as entertainment. So therefore, for me, that is what I think. Uh, um, so therefore, for me, yeah. Again, they're asking for 100 rupees, and that's the thing. Sir, fan code asked 3K, would you pay? Um, yeah, why not? Again, I don't see the value of it on one side, but on the other side, if I'm being asked, I would, yeah. Why not? Fan code just run the one match of the entire schedule that's Carabas and Monbang is displayed in fan code. Because Kumar, the schedule is not ready, right? So therefore, for me, again, we're talking about all these things, but all these things are not, the schedule is not ready. League commissioner has not been appointed. So a lot of questions which are open from an AFF perspective, which they need to sort with the clubs. Mumbai City, what is the status of the ground? What is the situation of Chennai FC? Has the Kalinga been set? In Takashi, where they're playing, all of that is open. I think EPL clubs got this idea of sacking managers after poor results from ISL or AIFF. Nah. So, um, to me, they have done it in the past, and they will do it in the future as well. So therefore, that's it. Fun fact: Nuno Rice was in the youth team of Sporting Club de Portugal with Sunil Chetri. Played trained with him. Interesting. I had heard that a while back, but I had forgotten it. To be very honest with you, I heard it when they was being linked with Mohun Bagan last season. Just need to fill the place of TD. Yeah, Blue. You needed someone especially because of Mehtab not being there. The question is, how do you fill those gaps? And now with the players coming back, and Mumbai City have had a lot of injuries as well. Akash Mishra needs to come back. Dhruv Alva didn't convince me. I don't know what the situation with the others is. Is Valpuya a centre back? Is Valpuya now a right back? So a lot of questions that is there. 290 is not much in a restaurant, and a meal costs double the amount. Yeah, it depends on what it is, right? So therefore, so that's the thing. So what's KPS Studios? KPS Studios is a production company. Kaleidoscope is the full name, and they're going to do the production of the Indian Super League. So therefore, that's going to be an interesting one. Who they get in, what they get in, what quality they get in. Will they broadcast it in TV? No one asks. You know, it is. They're trying, but I think it's not an easy ask, an easy thing. So therefore, for me, mm, yeah, let's wait and see what they do. But to me, um, they're trying with Sony, from what I understand. Again, start is too much of television in regard to the World Cup and then the IPL. Um, so let me see. I mean, what's their job? Production, Rahul, production, TV production. They will produce the feed. People buy a 300 rupee Starbucks coffee to flex on Snapchat. Someone, they flex on this, they flex on that, they do this, they do that. Again, I think there is no big thing to talk about in that way. I would always say that they're not asking for much money. So, you know, it's a question, yeah, right? Akash Mishra's one mistake cost us the Bangladesh match. Rahul, I wouldn't say it is Akash Mishra. It is, I think, a multitude of players. Akash is the one who got caught out. But to me, yeah, so that's the thing. Another, I will not pay the 3K amount if fan code asks, because that 3K amount will give me 6 months of Wi-Fi and you will get Prime Video and Hotstar subscription. Again, Kumar, your priorities. If Indian football is not your priority, then that is what you're gonna say. Again, I was asked. And I would say, if they would be asking me 1,000 rupees a month to watch Indian football, I would pay it. Because if I would go to football stadiums, let's say, right? Again, do your math. If someone really wants to stay honest with you in football, they will pay the 300. Exactly, Blue. Sir, if fan code ask 1 lakh, would you pay? No. Smith, one lakh is ridiculous, right? So therefore, again, I think that the 300 to 500 range is a realistic one for those 3 months. Again, for the season, it's a different one. Any news about sponsor for this ISL season? Narendra, the ISL sponsor is not being discussed. You know, um, so therefore, for me, yeah. At the moment, it is about survival of the league. I think we need to talk about the basics, and therefore, if you're talking about sponsor, if you're talking about this, you're talking about that, we're not there. Hey, Ochut, on the fan code subscription point, it is more of a personal convenience situation. If they're showing global football, including ISL, an Indian fan might go for it. Amount is always a big point of discussion. Ochut, they show La Liga for 299, right? So therefore, I don't know if you could do a football mix or whatever, as such to talk about, but they have content. I think they've got the Carabao Cup and other things, and I think their other sporting content you can get, I think, for 99 rupees for a year. I think it's relatively low, actually, right? The bar is not high, but again, Ashish said, Sony are out of the picture. What other options do we have? Augusto, if Sony is out, who do I? Star looks unlikely and difficult to me, but again, you never know. And Eurosport, I guess, would be another one. And who else do you have? I don't know if Z is still, uh, uh, you know, uh, and yeah, last resort DD Sports, right? So therefore, that's the thing. I don't understand how the Bangladesh players played so well after such poor infrastructure and ground there. Rahul, what has this to do with the quality of football? The quality of football has nothing to do about the quality of a ground or an infrastructure or your training or whatever, right? This is one of the get out of jail card. It's not 3K, it's 300. Mukul, it is 300 rupees. But again, the question was, if it was 3,000 rupees, if I was in India, would I pay for it? And I said, yes. If I'm asked to pay 1,000 rupees a month to watch Indian football, I would do it. Just simple answer. So please don't get angry, but I find the electronic boards surrounding the pitch very interesting. Will we see it this year too with limited funds? Rahul, I don't know. At the moment, I don't think so, right? Because there are too many grounds, and again, you have to book them, you have to block. Again, a lot of things you would normally see. I don't know if you will see them this year, because these are things which need to be organized, which need to be, we need to be there. So therefore, that's the thing. But with the one other thing, which we need to have, so therefore, let's wait and see what happens. 300 rupees per year is that cheap, even for students to convince their parents the monthly plan bill is more than that. Uchit, the 300 is actually for 3 months, so to say, right? So therefore, I'm saying, so therefore, for me, um, we'll have to wait and see what happens. Again, if it was the whole season, I don't think it would be 300. What number of people will buy the subscription according to you? 1,000 or 10,000? Hannibal, I have no clue. I have no uh, um, feeling for it. So therefore, for me, um, yeah. The point is also, which we should not forget, we are in our own little bubble because, again, we are discussing this here on this channel. We try to have a honest, straightforward discussion on things. Then there are people on social media who always, I had a conversation, I think, was it yesterday with Hiren about it. Hiren says, Are, look at every match that we do live watch alongs, people always want the free links. So therefore, is that the reality? So therefore, so therefore, let's wait and see what happens. At the moment, no clarity. Like what's normal things? Um, we'll have to see, right? If the boards will be there or not. So I don't know. Seriously, why did AFF even give an AFC Asian Cup bid? Is it time to have host content level when we can't manage our national top tier league and our youth teams are very slow? What pathetic thing. Sharnata, I don't think those two are interconnected. I think we need to think about what we're gonna do. To me, one thing is clear if I look at it. Uh, you know, um, mm, um, that such a bid is good because it develops and forcefully develops your infrastructure. So let's wait and see what happens. Does Vancode money make money from subscriptions or Hannibal subscription and sponsorship like any normal broadcaster do, right? Your two things with which you normally make money is either by selling subscriptions or by generating revenue via sponsorships on your broadcast. Another people in India should be habituated to pay wall or subscription for sport. Little by little, then this money goes to the sport apart from cricket. Yeah, Kumar, but we look at we've been discussing this now for 24 minutes. Our main discussion today has revolved around 300 rupees, and a lot of people are not willing to pay those 300 rupees. So, therefore, you know that that's a problem. People are not willing to pay 19 or 25 rupees for an India game where they say, oh, you know what, the quality is not good. That's why I'm not going to pay. Listen, I don't watch a team because the quality is good or bad. And this is the difference between a fan in Europe, which I tried to explain in the two reels that Sagles put out is Candid Football, and we'll have to wait and see. It's not worth it about 1K or 10K. It's 300 pretty cheap. Exactly, Blue. That's the point. The point is they've put it at 300 and we're willing to pay it or not. Whole month, 1K max, I guess that's still fine as it's per year. Yeah. Will be able to subscribe and watch in UK, Europe? Zoeb, I don't think so because as far as I know, fan code is only available in India. I don't know if they will do themselves a global feed or maybe they might do a free global feed. Still not known. And all these things are still, I guess, under conversation. Bangladesh football is being marketed because of Shamit Shom, Hamza, Famidul Islam. If India brings origin players, they will attract just like Indonesia, which has 90, 100 origin players. Yeah, Hitesh, again, I've said this for I don't know how many years, but let's wait and see. Ranjit sir will save Indian football. His Mina players will attract a lot of audience. Yes, Aditya, he's a goat, a messiah. Scooter has been selling his propaganda with Mick Up and making money. Yeah. Will the parents of the players actually watch their kids? Then how is Ranjit? Let's see. Nothing happens until that bit converts into proper development. Just 5 year show off. We need to build sustainable high time. Just showing everything formally. World Cup 2021 and just end this. Shanlata, you have to see it differently. A lot of infrastructure which we use in the Indian Super League, a lot of infrastructure we lose in the I League would not be there if we didn't have the under 17 World Cups, right? So therefore, I think both of them were important, are important for Indian football, and I'll be very honest. I sadly couldn't go to the women's one. I went for the men's one. Uh, uh, you know, um, yeah, that's something. You know, which I will always say, it's brought us a lot of infrastructure development. Look at, for example, the training facilities in Kolkata around the Salt Lake Stadium. That all would not be there, and that's the main training facilities for the clubs in Kolkata. Forget the Maidans. The amount of quality in our football ecosystem can be attributed to inadequate coaching at the grassroots level. I ponder why coaches seem reluctant to upskill themselves in terms of football knowledge and tactics. Is it due to limited exposure to international coaching standards, or do they prefer to operate within their comfort zone, hesitant to push players beyond their perceived capabilities? Ooh, Goku, that's a good question. There is no simple answer to it. There are certain coaches who think they know and understand, right? So therefore that's one. On the other side, there are some who don't know better, right? And there is the class of, listen, you know what, we need to get results immediately. You know, you know. In the 90s, East Bengal, Mohanbagan, Kolkata Amazing used to participate regularly with almost no internet access. We used to get the results from newspapers only. Yeah, newspapers. And then Uchut, there used to be a website called IndianFootball.com. So therefore, that's the reality, right? Hey, Rushabh, appreciate all you do, brother. Thanks, Web. Thanks as always to you, to everyone. And reminder, if you haven't, like, share, and subscribe to Arun Foot here on YouTube. Again, without your support, this channel cannot grow. 10 likes so far. I think we can do better. And watch the short content. I did something yesterday, but I tried to explain, why the media valuation is dropped and what it is, and therefore, um, yeah, that's something which is there. Now, why can't Fango go international? Kumar, there are a lot of regulations, payment gateways, and other things, and that's something. So yeah, so it's not so easy. Let's say, oh, you know what, tomorrow I go global. Again, they're not a global player. They're an Indian company. Was Geo Hotstar's offer worse than Fancode's? Yes. Fancode's offer was at 8.6 and Geo's was at 5 crores. Do we have a chance of Macefield returning? No. At this budget, my only wish, I'll be honest, if I want good coverage of the Indian Super League, I want um, two people to be there. Two guys who are rated very, very highly. Um, one's is Suyash, and the other is Pulosto Dhar. And get people like Robin Singh as experts. Yeah, let's see. I wish we get to host 2031 Asian Cup. That will again give the interest a push. Yeah, Uchut, it would be a big thing for us if India can get that, and let's wait and see what happens. We were talking about great viewership on YouTube, but my fear is fan code numbers may be bad as people may see through third-party apps. Blue, that chance is there. That chance is there. Again, I would love to hear from fan code. I've never seen or heard about numbers in regard to the national team. Those matches which they exclusively streamed. So that would be interesting. What are your realistic chances of winning the AFC Asian Cup bid? Hannibal, I think it's difficult. If you ask me from a theoretical standpoint, looking at your opponents, um, I find it difficult. Looking also who has been hosting the Asian Cup in the last few editions, we've now had UAE, Qatar, Saudi, right? Meaning the three big Asian countries, and now you see Australia, India, Indonesia, South Korea, Kuwait, and the joint Central Asian bid. Australia to me falls out because they're hosting the Women's Asian Cup this year. South Korea and Indonesia have not hosted anything big in the recent past. So Kuwait to me also falls out. And then The Central Asian bit is also interesting, but again, so let's wait and see what happens. And what do we do of that infra with those worst pitch maintenance, broken chairs, and also very limited stadium? What is maintenance level seen? Presently, stadium are not even match ready. What is use? Shanata, the stadiums are not match ready, but if you didn't have this, the stadiums would not be even there in this state, right? So look at it from that way. Another sporting club, the Goa expresses interest to AIFF to play in I League if a slot becomes available due to non-participation or withdrawal of any current promoted club. Kumar, there's a lot being said. Churchill wanting to play ISL. If anyone drops out of the ISL, they are not supposedly in the mix for the I League. And then you have the situation that, if someone drops out, So all these clubs, are like, man, I don't like this piranha sort of attitude. There's some flesh and I want to eat it if it comes close to me. I don't know. That's not the right way or the right style, in my opinion. If a government pokes nose in the affairs of sports board, then they're banned, right? Why is Pakistan and Bangladesh not banned? Arijit, cricket has its own rules, and if you want this whole ban government's interference, then who's going to ban India then for cricket, right? Why are you looking at Pakistan and Bangladesh? Look at in your own backyard. You know when will Chuck the football come out? Eagerly waiting for it. Uchuk, I have to actually ask Sagal. I haven't asked him. I need to ask him. So always like video just of joining and your channel from day to day, following you from 2nd May. My birthday previously almost going to happen 1 year since following you. Thanks, Shanlata. Good to hear that. Total area of 243,600 square meters, whereas Madhya Pradesh total land area is 308,209 square meters. Yet UK have once 14 football World Cup. UK, Northern Scotland, that shows the lack of infra. No, it doesn't. It is the lack of infra. If your infra is your qualification tool, look at don't you look at the UK. UK is in a developed, evolved country state. To me, don't the comparison doesn't work. Compare it with Africa. Compare it with South America. You know, say, can you predict on what will be a performance all women Asian Cup? No, Mokul. Very difficult to say. I want one of the teams to qualify for one of the World Cups. That would be my wish, my hope. I think under 20s looks difficult with Japan, Australia, and Chinese Taipei. The senior one with Vietnam, Japan, Chinese Taipei, also under 17s. Let's wait and see. Bottom line, East Bengal. Sorry, Arijit. Bottom line is East Bengal was Mohun Bagan, got no takers worldwide now. Was there a value in 90s, 80s, or 2000s? Arijit, nobody in the world bothers about East Bengal versus Mohun Bagan. Nobody bothers about Indian football, has never. Actually, no, never would be wrong. There was an interest in 2014, and I was part of it. I saw it, right? I had media from most European countries in Mumbai during the ISL. I had Southeast Asian media, I had even US media with us, right? Say England, say Germany, France, Spain, Sweden, Norway, Malaysia, Thailand, Singapore, US, incredible. Even Arjun Pandey will do 100%. Arjun would be great, Augusto. Arjun would be really fun, but I don't know if Arjun would be available. Fan code only shows unimportant sports events, not major ones. Arjit, I don't know how you come to that conclusion. They show Formula One, they show La Liga, so I don't know. And they will now show the Indian Super League. So how can you say they show unimportant sports? Another, do you know authentic viewership I say, but only concurrent viewership? Kumar, I know some numbers about real numbers, but not uh, you know. Uh, um, so therefore, let's see. This season, NRIs can watch ISL only if a proper TV broadcaster comes from others. I don't see fan code going international in this short span of time, even if they work 18 hours a day. Ochud, actually to put it on an international platform is easier than actually going to a TV broadcaster now. The worst case, in my opinion, which is actually a good one. Um, um, is actually FIFA Plus. That's an easy one. So therefore, that's, I don't know. That might be something to look at. So how did Arsenal happen for 20th industry? In which stadiums? Um, we in Mumbai played at the Mumbai football. Didn't play at the Mumbai football arena. That was played at the DY Patil. So the Mumbai football arena got developed. Even Salt Lake Stadium was revamped. So for example, Kolkata is a very good example. Kolkata was a mess till 2016. Terrible stadium, terrible pitch, terrible everything, terrible infrastructure. It got revamped. Those training grounds in Kolkata were built. Fatorda was redeveloped, especially 2022 for the women's FIFA Women's World Cup. They put in the hybrid pitch. So therefore, there are a lot of infrastructure things in and around training, especially training grounds, did not exist. So therefore, these are things which have helped the world. The World Cups have helped us, right? Um, I think Kochi, most probably the stadium wouldn't be standing now. It would have collapsed by now if it wasn't for the World Cups. Fancode now have quite a good library of leagues and cups, and cricket series would have considered buying a yearly sub if it was a long-term deal, but for the average viewer, I doubt. Yeah, let's wait and see, right? By the way, ISL 8.6 crore, SLK 20 crore, shameful. Blue, the 20 crore, is it a one-off one-year deal or is it a multi-year deal? Right? So therefore, um, again, I've actually, I wanted to look at it, didn't get the time to, wait. Um, Wait, one second. Let me just, yeah. Because I'm not sure if that, wait one second. There is one thing, I think it was from sports.com. There is something, again, I don't know what is this, but there is something wrong with that 20 crores figure. Unless the quality is worth it, we Indians won't pay it for 300 rupees. For us who have Indian football close to us, we won't even think twice, but for an average viewer, they'll go for illegal links. Yeah, Rushabh, that sums up the problem. No? Honestly, it feels like we're producing fewer quality players now compared to the past. Meanwhile, other countries are been improving their football while we're stuck in the same spot. We talk about having immense potential, whereas the action, our players go abroad to play because they know they'll get opportunity. But what's happening at home from grassroots to the top tier, things are getting worse. There's a lack of passion for the game among players. Our coaching isn't great. The Gambadi is corrupt, and those in charge are ignorant about football. If this continues, Indian football will decline further, maybe even fade away in a few years or a decade. Yeah, Goku, it's a danger, you know. So yeah, I don't think we can win most realistic because even leaving Australia, seeing the hosting 2026 Women's Asian Cup, Korea's strongest contender, and English has a better chance than us. So we're at third. Are we even third? Imagine cricket with India banned properly. Ludo will be more important sports. Yeah. The funny one is, someone told me the other day, right, about Italy playing in the World Cup. And I told a good Italian friend of mine, you know what, you're playing the Cricket World Cup in India. He said, what? I said, you're playing the Cricket T20 World Cup in India. He didn't have a clue that Italy played cricket. He didn't understand what T20 was and didn't even understand what cricket was. So in India, people are more informed, better informed than the Italians. And I found it funny when the president of the ICC said, "Oh, you know what? I'm going to meet the Germans, the French, the Scandinavians, and this, and we'll take cricket for." Like, my friend, nobody here cares about cricket, right? Three things which will decide how many teams qualify: one mentality, second game plan, and fight. Okay, Another. AFF can't hold I League probably. How can they host AFC Asian Cup? Arjit, the country hosts it, but the management is actually in the hands of the either continental body or in the case of FIFA and the global body. So therefore, it's not the AIFF organizing the AFC Asian Cup. It would be a separate body, created special body. Santosh Trophy Kerala final. Bhagavan. Sorry to say, who cares? Nobody cares about Santosh Trophy anymore. Exactly, Gokul. Someone says as answer to Arijit, they show EFL Cup, FA Cup, La Liga are these unimportant tournaments, and now ISL, which is the most important for India. That's why someone, to me, I totally agree. Hosting Asian Cup will not be that hard, especially government will support if they won the bid. Exactly, bro. It's, yeah. To me, it's something, yeah. How does FIFA Plus work? Who pays and is there any money back? No. Rushabh, it's not, FIFA Plus is not about money. FIFA Plus is about FIFA streaming potentially football around the world. Right? If I would go now to FIFA Plus, let me try and find FIFA Plus now as a streaming platform, right? What FIFA Plus has its own archives, right? About all World Cups, all special memories. It's currently wait. It recently showed the Rwandan Women's League. It's now showing the top tier of Burkina Faso. Then it's showing the top no, sorry, the under 19 league in Israel, then a league in the OFC Men's Championship, then the Seychelles, the top tier in Lebanon, the leagues like top tier in Albania, the league in Burundi, the second tier in the UAE. So they've got you know they've got a lot of interesting things in regard to if you're a football geek. It is in and it's for example, it has both the matches if you want to watch a replay. Services versus Railways and Punjab versus Kerala of the Santosh Trophy, for example, today, right? They've got the Clausura in Nicaragua, right? Um, so therefore, that's it. Let me Saturday, for example. Let's look Saturday, right? They've got the one in the Antigua Premier League in the Caribbean. Then got again Burkina Faso, the league in the Comoros on the islands, the Tanzanian league, the second division in Ivory Coast. They've got the top tier of women's football in Morocco, top tier in Lebanon, the second division in the UAE, as I said. They've got futsal from New Zealand. They've got the top tier in Gambia, the league in Albania, right? Top tier in Albania. So if you're a football geek, and this goes on, for Saturday, it just goes on and on. Another, what would be a bid amount you will place after knowing viewership? Will that be the same amount fan code bidded? Kumar, I I would have different questions before I even place a bid to the AFL. Right. So therefore, yeah. I remember FIFA officials saying Yoika is fit to host the senior World Cup final. Ocho, in 2017, yes, today, I guess 7, 8, 9 years on, I don't think so. Another the fan code should go for FIFA World Cup 2026. Kumar, why? If you know what FIFA wants for it, fan code will not pay that. How do you rate Norway's chances with players like Erling Haaland, Martin Odegaard, Alexander Sørloth, Antonio Nusa, and Oscar Bob qualify after 28 years? Hitesh, to me, they're the dark horse, right? To me, Norway, potential-wise, especially with Haaland and Odegaard as the top stars, so to say, but you've got Sørloth, you've got a winger like Nusa, Young, Oscar Bob, and all the others that they have. Looks good. Looks good. So, yeah, one has to wait and see what happens. I said, I think for 8.6 crore for single season is good valuation. What's up? The valuation is not 8.6. This is also what I'm trying to say to people. Your valuations, the numbers don't add up. The numbers are, as I speak to you at this moment in time, that 7 crores production valuation from Fancode, 1.5 for streaming, 10 lakhs for broadcast. So if you want a real discussion, I said 0, but these guys then said, you know what? It's worth 10 lakhs. So to me, 91 matches at 10 lakhs is actually have zero valuation. So, yeah. Future of football in India is in Northeast, Kolkata, Goa, and Kerala. CF has to smartly plan and grow the football. No, Bharat cricket, they need to go everywhere. If you can focus on these markets, but you need to go everywhere. RFYC in Upang League is investing in football coaches along with grassroots. Good, Kumar. Sun Trophy is for government jobs. Okay, Kumar. I don't really think India women friendlies win help us. Good team, good practice, but far from real national team pressure. We need national team friendlies. It's very tough to win a match in this tournament. Shannata, you are not at this time. They're going to get friendlies. All the other teams are playing in their respective leagues, right? So therefore, and it is or teams are in preseason, as you see, wherever there is cold weather, and so therefore, um, it's yeah, it's the best that they could do. Therefore, again, rather than training in India and then playing, I don't know, their own under 20s, it makes more sense. And you are tough enough. If you're playing against Russians, like playing against Germans, that's a different level. FIFA Plus is a wonderful app website for any football lover. I love to browse the archives. Yeah, Ochut. It's luckily is there. And as I say, for international football, I would always put the point and say, um, so therefore, yeah, it's good. Now, sorry to say, FIFA Plus is worst mobile app, but it is better on website on laptop. No, it's not, Kumar. And um, Uchut is saying that as well. It works. I mean, here in Germany, it has worked always for me very, very fine. Uchut says that in America, maybe it is an issue bandwidth and connectivity, maybe in India rather than the app. The app. And most often, it is not the app. It is most often when you have these kind of problems, it is your mobile, you know, supplier with data. What's your view? Should we even bid for the AFC Asian Cup or is it a waste of money like Olympics? Utsav, the money spent on an AFC Asian Cup bid is not that much compared to an Olympics. Olympics, we're talking, I don't know how many hundreds of crores India will have to spend. Here we're talking a few lakhs. And I think it is good because it also, you can get into conversation with the AFC about development, infrastructure, and other things. So therefore, from that perspective, I think it's a good step. There was a big backlash in Brazil when they hosted Olympics. Was it? Guten Abend, good evening, Arunava. After a long while, good to see you back. Just like WPL after men's apple, men's cricket and better pay, India women have won the cricket women's World Cup. Same principle could be followed for women's football. No. Do you think? Do you think that the women's cricketers get as much money as the men? Just, just out of curiosity. Nowhere near. And in women's football, the same thing will apply in India as it has over the years. It reflects the mentality of Indian fans towards sports. We tend to support only the sports we love, while others are an afterthought. If we lose, we are bashed down, especially in cricket. This shows our people's sports mentality. We care about winning, but neglect other aspects. We need to respect all sports and support at least consistently, not just after they've won something. Yeah. Coco, couldn't have said it better. Who are the favorites for the win FIFA World Cup 2026 according to you? And what do you think is the chance of an Argentina-Porto clash in knockouts? As scenario is clear. I have not bothered to look at what road Argentina and Portugal have. To be honest, I haven't even looked at what the road is for all these teams. I have said I stick to it. To me, Spain are the top favorites. I think they have the best potential players wise. Um, um, then France, right? France, insane potential. And if I want to add up, you know, um, then comes the whole chunk. Uh, uh, you know, um, Germany is part of it. England's going to be part of it. Um, Argentina will be part of that list, and then yeah, your usual suspects as always. That's why we have seats, or do people sit on stairs? No. First of all, you don't sit on stairs. You sit on sort of concrete slabs. That's what it's called. Utsav? No, they sit. You have proper seats. What's your opinion on ISL broadcast your fan code? In my opinion, Gio won it would have been better. No, Jawar, you have to look at it from a financial standpoint. It's 8.6 versus 5. So therefore, fan code got it. And I think with all the cricket content that Zio Hotstar has, do you think they would have put any importance on this? I don't think so. So therefore, let's wait and see. You have a U20 women's national team, Sweden on the squad list. Ochut, I don't know what the status is. Are some players injured or not? But I think it's good. Um, the timing is a little weird to me because it's gonna be damn cold in Sweden. It's cold in it's freezing in Germany. So to me, that would be a question. But otherwise, it's a good thing. So they have a lot of indoor training, I guess, and we'll have to wait and see um, what the girls can do in those matches. Again, they're in Stockholm, and what's the weather in Stockholm? Let me just check, just out of curiosity. What is the weather? Oh, it's okay. No, only -6. Yeah, but it's gonna get colder in the coming days. Next Thursday, -13 at night. So therefore, that's the problem, right? It's very cold, but so you're most probably gonna work in those indoor domes. But again, let's see. I watched you 17 qualifiers, FIFA Plus first. All quality is good and brightest thing, it is free. Anyone can go and watch a match and shows wide range of match with highlights, which is best. So love that. Yeah, exactly, Shanad. I agree to that. So how's AIFF able to afford sending our women teams to train in Europe? Did government inject any money? What's up? These are collaborations with the. This is yeah, Joachim Alexandersson. The whole thing is a collaboration with the Swedish Football Association. I don't know how much they're picking up, but the AIFF surely is getting some sort of grants from the government for the under 20s, under 17s, and the senior teams. And there is also some well wishers who've given the AIFF some money. I think women players receive some same salary as men from BCCI. I don't think so. Someone. I don't believe they get the same salary. Mumbai City FC signed a Portuguese footballer. Yes, Nuno Reis, who was last season on the bench at Monbagan Super Giant, didn't play a minute, has joined Mumbai City FC. I think it's a wise decision after Tiri left. I think Tiri was very, very crucial. I hope Nuno can fill that gap. The advantage is he has trained at least in India, so he's got an understanding of India. So therefore, that's in my opinion, it's a good signing, and we'll have to see if he can perform for Mumbai City and give the defense some stability. Because in my opinion, if I look at Tiri leaving, Mehtab leaving, it's not the same. But don't you think Spain could little problem if they keep more and more possession? But if in any match they are not able to create danger in final third, could be biggest weakness. Shanlata, they have the capabilities to create that danger. That yeah, of course you can say tiki taka this, tiki taka that, but we'll have to wait and see. Dada, how do you see Fancode's deal? Season pass looks cheap for 91 matches. New pass for clubs, that's great. How do you see it? See, for me, um, it's very simple. We needed a new broadcaster, and for me, it's very important that they've come now forward, and let's see what happens. Huh? For me, it's a good thing to see that they are um, now coming forward because we needed something, and yeah. So therefore, I don't know what other options we had. Um, Therefore, for me, I think it's very important that we now have them. If I see, they've got the women's Super League in England, they've got La Liga 2, the A League in Australia, the EFL League, the Saudi League, AFC Champions League, Copa del Rey, ACL2, the Carabao Cup, and La Liga as such. So therefore, that's good. No, that's good, and um, yeah, let's wait and see what happens with it. I will bring Orkada to the podcast. Yeah, could try. Fancode doesn't have any TV channel. Wonder who will telecast ISL. Fancode said they will partner up with the TV channel. Wonder who will be. My gut says it will be DD Sports. So now let's wait and see. To me, as I've said earlier, it's important that we get a broadcaster. I think that was a challenge. That is a challenge, and there is no wonder solution to that. Sony was the top favorite, but again, I don't know. Yeah, let's see. How do you see India's victory versus Iran in 17? Is India in a massive decline? They lost to Oman, Kyrgyzstan last year, CS 17. Seems like they're going to down. Iran is imploding again as a country and in football as well. So therefore, it's a great victory for us. But again, look at the match against Lebanon, look at the match against Palestine, then you know what our standard is. So yeah. What happened to Shubha Paul as part of Bayern Munich U19 World Squad? How much has he progressed? Ritesh, World Squad, I think, was the biggest, and um, he's gone backwards. The last I knew, he was with the reserve team of Mohun Bagan, Super Giant, but I haven't heard anything about it. There might be discounts that AIFF managed via Swedish FF and due to the winters. Achut, you're not going to get any discount for the winters, and the Swedish FF will either got you discount or they might even subsidize it to some extent. Yes, according to new BCCI salary structure, both men's and women's have the same salary structure with BCCI. Wow, okay, I didn't know that. Interesting. Dada, I just a picture of Farooq. He has been in the system for about 10 years, but he hasn't hit its true potential until now. Okay, let's see. But getting used to sub-zero temperature for most of the girls would be difficult, but good exposure to whatever we can manage under the present scenario. Ochut, that's why I would have rather send them to Turkey, right, where the senior women's is, and worst case, let them even play a match with our own women's before they leave. But Sweden in this cold, and a lot of these girls are from regions which don't know what cold is. Again, next week -13, just to mention. Yeah, crazy. The coach would like to be the main ground for Kerala versus C. Don't know whether it's true, but if it's coach, you will see massive fans from all parts of Kerala. And I think it doesn't matter if it's um, if it's in Kochi or in Calicut. Again, I think Calicut, some of the fans up north in Kerala would have said, "Hey, listen, that's good for us." But at the end of the day, we'll have to see what is done. What both sides decide in the end. To me, it's yeah, we'll have to wait and see. I don't have an answer to you. Um, you know, and we'll have to wait and see what happens, right? Um, but if it's Kochi, if the stadium is sorted out by the Greater Kochi Development Authority, great, because that's the home of the Kerala Blasters. Say if I was looking for commercial partner, is broadcasting commercial partner same or there are two different tenders? Two different ones. There is no tender for commercial partner. They just did a broadcast tender because at the moment they know that no commercial partner is interested in the form that the way the league is attached to the federation in the current form. Shubha Paul is in Mohammed Super Giant. Yes. Okay, Zorava, thanks for the confirmation. Latest I heard Karnataka's management region channels for TV broadcast. Okay, I don't know where you heard that. Devomit, I heard they're looking at all options. FanCon has to look at all options because part of the deal is to put it on a broadcaster, and I think the broadcasters aren't too interested. That's a problem of the whole thing, right? So therefore, for me, there is no simple yes or no answer, whatever, in this whole broadcast problem. You know, and so um, yeah, let's wait and see what happens. But they will have to find a broadcast, and that's the challenge that they have now um, to sort at this moment in time, right? So that's not an easy one. Joachim Alexanderson deserves much credit because he has led under 17 and 22 AFC women's Asian Cups, especially as they will travel to Kyrgyzstan, defeating both Uzbekistan and Kyrgyzstan in 17. 100%. Hitesh, and this shows you we saw how our women's senior team developed under Thomas Dennerby, that these Swedish guys have a certain value for us, our football, to take our teams forward. And therefore, for me, very, very clearly, yeah, someone had a lot of respect for Thomas Dennerby, and have as much, if not even more respect, no, not more, same respect for Joachim Alexanderson as well. These guys have really worked hard, and yeah, that's a reality. You know, so that's the thing, right? An hour already, you know. Um, if you haven't, like, share, and subscribe. Arunfoot here on YouTube. Visit my other social medias, visit arunfoot.com, and support me here on YouTube, Instagram, X, Twitter, whatever. 11 likes so far. We stand at 3,738 subscriptions. Thank you very much. Slowly, the channel is growing. I need your support, guys. We've slowed down in the growth. We need to spread it out. And yeah, on Insta, you've seen some of my statements on the Chuck Day podcast. I hope it comes out soon. Don't know about player development, but Keravasis is someone leading coach development. Yeah, not bad. Thomas Schorsch as well as Purushothaman, both. Yeah, no, decent. Tala, do you think clubs should have a talk with the AFF every time and work out a way out as it's essential for growth of the game? Then communication is the key, right? Um, if you don't communicate, you won't, right? To me, the most important thing is the AFF and the clubs need to be on the same page and compromise. The word is compromise. We need to have compromise on that, and then we'll see what happens. When can we see the next Sunil Chetri? Jaravar is a good question. I don't know. We might be watching the next Sunil Chetri play in Indian football, and we don't know that the next Sunil Chetri is there. But who knows? I don't know. I would hope someone of these guys improve, and I didn't have him on my radar. You didn't have him on his radar. So that's why, yeah, let's wait and see. There's been a lack of excitement towards the ISL for a couple of seasons, especially this one. As a kid, I used to eagerly wait for the ISL to restart every season. Even 2 months ago, I was looking forward to club updates, team signings, and improvements. But now my enthusiasm has faded. I think it's due to two main reasons: the state of Indian football and the transparency issues within the ISL and its clubs. Fans are frustrated. There's no excitement. The players' performance in clubs and the national team is also inconsistent, which affects their morale. Unlike when I was younger, now I see beyond just team wins and losses, personal issues, life, family, friends, health, they all add up. Oh, I understand it. And to me, therefore, I hope the AIFF makes the right decision in regard to who they appoint as league commissioner with the clubs. I think hopefully that is going to ignite something. Let's hope that the AIFF and the clubs recognize that that position, in my opinion, is very, very important. And hope that person, whoever that is, he or she, that person takes on that mantle, communicates internally with the federation, with the clubs, but also communicates with you all as fans, communicates with the media, the creator space, and tries to maybe create a little bit of a positive buzz around things. That's, I think, in my opinion, very, very important. Very, very, very tough. I know. Very difficult. I know. But that would be, and I understand you. Gogo, I fully understand you because to me, I've actually not been really following the transfers properly, but I've followed it here and there. And yeah, it is where it is, right? So therefore, we'll have to wait and see what happens. So it is the way, it sadly, we're stuck in that. And therefore, that's why I've repeated now for the last few days and weeks. Um, we all need to support the Indian Super League so that the Indian Super League has a future. If the next 3 months, uh, uh, you know, uh, so therefore we'll have to wait and see. That is on you. That is on us, all of us. Not only those who are watching live, those who may be watching it deferred. It is on everyone that we need to support Indian football, because if we don't support Indian football, if we don't push Indian football in the right direction, no one will. And I've said this to friends of mine who are players, who are coaches, involved in clubs. Um, yeah, a lot needs to happen. A lot needs to happen. Looks like Praful Patel will be back, guessing by how Modi is endorsing him. Zoravar, I don't know. Again, you guys try and build these connections and influence and this and that, and most of these things are not connected. I always say that, right? To me, people have said, "Oh, because this has happened, that has happened, this is," and then when you know the insides, you just, I nowadays don't even reply to people. So, yeah, those are realities, right? So it's a very difficult scenario. Um, that we find ourselves in. And if someone like Mr. Patel, by any chance, could come back, we'll have to wait and see what happens. But if you ask me, yeah, it's a challenge. It's a day in and day out challenge. What are your views on Jerry Lalming Thanga, the Mizo player who signed for East Bengal Football Club? Hitesh used to love him. Um, he was part of the Tom and Jerry combo with Lalinjwala Changte. They used to be at DSK Shivajins. They both actually went and trained for a certain period of time in Liverpool for a few weeks and then came back. And while um, Changte's career sort of, yeah, via Chennai, but especially Mumbai City when he joined under Des Buckingham, took a different path. Jerry has been decent as an Indian attacking player, but I think he hasn't done justice to his talent. I would say. I think there was more possible. And at East Bengal, it's interesting to see. They have, I don't know how many wingers they now have, but let's see if he plays or Nanda Kumar plays or PV Vishnu plays. Shan Banerjee had a good Santosh Trophy. I don't know if he suddenly comes back into the mix. We'll have to wait and see what happens. Any good news for Indian football? Goal for peace. I think the good news is that the Indian Super League is set to kick off next week, Saturday, on the 14th. I think that's the good news for you, me, for all of us who love Indian football. And everything else is in a flux. So therefore, for me, I can't tell you, the next 3-4 months, the women's Asian Cup in in Australia next month, the under 20 Asian Cup in April, then in May, the under 17s. You know, let's see. There is a U17 kid from Bangalore who's training in Finland. I hope he develops well. It's talking about an U7, is U7 or U17? If you're talking about a U17, let's see. If you're talking about a U7, don't even talk about it. There are millions of under 7 boys playing around the world. And 99.99% of those kids don't make it as a professional footballer. So he might top his football next week. You don't know. So therefore, um, yeah, maybe interesting to see. East Bengal looks too strong this season. However, they look good on paper. And that is what I'm saying. This season will not be decided how good you look on paper, how good you are here and there. You have to get the results. And the first 3-4 match days will decide. East Bengal, to me, normally on paper would be a team where I would say, you know what? Uh, uh, um, you know, that they should be a team to challenge for the title. But didn't we say that at the Super Cup as well? So I'm interested to see how they play. Um, and Yusuf as a Jari, I don't know, did they sign a second um, foreign striker or just have Khan? Uh, so therefore, yeah, that's the thing. If East Bengal fans don't win ISL this season, they will blame. If East Bengal don't win ISL this season, their fans will blame AIFF after everything. Yeah, whatever. The buck passes on. And you say, I know Aaron Raphael. Okay. As a normal fan, I'm always ready to support Indian football, even if we lose. I could have given up, but I still talk about it, care about it, engage with others online, the comment sections, and football videos are proof that fans like we care deeply about Indian football. There's a sense of frustration because no concrete steps have been taken for its development. Transparency is lacking. I see words, but where are the actions? Football takes time, but here there's no visible progress. Sorry. I'm supporting Indian football as long as I can, but it's tough. Maybe it's just a temporary phase and things will get sorted out with some effort. Coco, I understand your feeling. I actually do. I felt the same like you multiple times over the years because that's the problem of Indian football where we stand at this moment. But um, what I always would tell you, anybody else, would be never lose hope, never lose faith, and maybe one day it'll be better, right? So let's see. Can you name some good young upcoming footballers which you think is good for India? Go for peace. The problem is, at that age, you know, the under 17 captain Gante seems to be, Dananmohan Gante seems like someone who could be. The rest, very difficult, right? So therefore, no idea what is it. How many teams should be relegated? One or two teams for 14 because of relegation existed. Kumar, let's see if the relegation will exist or not, because at the moment it's still being discussed. You know, um, it's not finalized, so that's one. Um, if there is relegation, I would say one at this moment in time, right? And therefore, for me, yeah, our problem is at the moment that I actually feel the league is too big. So maybe don't even know how. So let's wait and see what happens. I think two should be promoted and one should be relegated. No, someone, you're then increasing the size of the league. At the moment, the league is 14, right? We cannot afford a 14-team league, in my opinion, if you ask me, right? If you would ask me, I would have a smaller league. And that's the problem where we are. And let's see, you know. So that to me is a challenge. To me is a challenge because at the moment, I don't know. I don't think the clubs want relegation at the moment. So that's it. Do you believe Kalyan Chaubey that he will give exemption? No idea, Kumar. We'll have to wait and see. Why not 20-team league? We don't have the number of teams to have a 20-team league. We don't have the players. We don't have the quality. We don't have the infrastructure, right? So this is 20-team league. We are far away. We're not the Premier League. Again, and even in England or in Spain or in France or in Italy, they had to discuss it. No? Germany has an 18-team league, right? And which I think Germany runs very well with. So therefore, the question is, what makes sense for you as a country? What should be the size of your league? So therefore, for me, if you ask me that way, um, if you had asked me before all of this had started, I would have said, you know what, rather 10-team league is better than a 14-team league and you run it. So therefore, for me, it does make sense. Yeah, yeah. So let's see. Where do you say? Golf for Peace, I currently am based in Germany. Utsav has answered to Zav. It looks very talented at his age. Hope he develops well, but just tell his father to play for India. I still remember Sunil Chetri's video where he called out fans who support Indian football. He said, scream at us, shout at us, not on TV, online, come to the stadium. Maybe one day we will chance will the champion of the league play. Um, yeah, I remember that call in Mumbai and the next matches in the Intercontinental Cup where the stadium was full. So Sunil's appeal, uh, you know, so therefore that's given, and let's see what happens. Um, but you know, I've not heard anything. So let's see. Will the champions of the league play AFC? Yes, Bengali from Germany. They will play like the Super Cup champions FC Goa. They will play in the qualifiers of the AFC Champions League 2. So that is something. Um, uh, um, um, and therefore, yeah, we'll have to wait and see what happens. Um, we'll have to wait and see what happens. I don't know what, where it will go, but at the moment, yeah, let's see who becomes champions. And again, Mohun Bagan are suspended. So if Mohun Bagan and FC Goa finish first or second, and the team who finishes third would pick up that slot. Any contenders for next election? No, Kumar, none. Any capable left in info after this black hole drowning of info? Of course they are. Yeah. Yeah, that's a given. No? There are lots of capable people still in the system, despite all, so therefore, let's see what happens. Mohammad Supergiant is banned. And if they win, what will happen? As I said, Bengali from Germany, if they win or if FC Goa wins, so if Mohun Bagan or FC Goa finish first or second, or any of those two, and then the either the team which finishes second, if those two finish first, second, and the team which finishes third moves into the Champions League. I find that Chetri plea kind of ironical. When people screamed at them for poor performance, they all walked away, especially after that loss against Afghanistan. So, however, again, you knowing the players a little bit, having interacted with them, speaking to them once in a while with some of them. Um, so for me, you know, so for me, it's a question of how can we get there, right? And mm, so for me, it again, there is a way of criticizing and doing it, and yeah, it's difficult. It's difficult. I don't have the right words at the moment to explain to you. Who's gonna away with the question? Oh, I can't play. Then maybe the second best team will play. I think most. No, as I said, if in any case Mohun Bagan or FC Goa, let's say Mohun Bagan finish first, FC Goa finish second, or FC Goa finish first, Mohun Bagan finish second. In those two cases, the team finishing third goes into the AFC Champions League as Indian champions into the qualifying stage. If Mohun Bagan or Goa win and none of them finish second, then the team which finishes second goes, right? So therefore, that's the thing. So just wondering, why didn't Reliance pull out from RFDL? Because Utsav, that is Reliance Foundation. That is not Reliance Industries. Reliance Industries, you know, and so yeah, that's where we are. India London lost 2-1 to France in third fourth playoff, winning 1962 Asian Games football and runs of 60 AFC. The standard stunk to new low on auto rankings. Hitesh, you're talking about winning 1951 and 1962 Asian Games football gold medal, and we were runners up, or so-called runners up of the AFC Asian Cup in 1962 and sorry, 64. That is the case because most countries in Asia didn't play football. And we missed the bus. Your whole Asian Games history in this and Olympics history, at that time, there was a shift towards the FIFA World Cup and towards the Asian Cup. So therefore, we missed the bus. Many of them even lock their Insta comments. They can't take criticism. No, Zoravar, it is not about not taking criticism. It is, again, you would criticize, but I think most of the people are just simply giving them gali. And that is not criticism. So that's not easy. It's like politician came to us asking for votes and say XYZ, we will do things after the election. There's no mind. And that is, if you are a fan and you don't know the players and don't know the system, you would say, oh, yes, I truly believe this is there. I don't buy that fact. Knowing the players, and again, those of you who can speak Bengali, try and watch my interview with Pritam Kotal a few weeks ago. Watch my video with Abik. You will realize these people, they feel, they fight, they work for Indian football. Just pleading for support without any good performances, how will that be handled? Bengali from Germany, you know what the problem is? If you are, what I used to say when we started our discussion rounds with Akshata, with Hiren, with Rahul on Sports Khabri, I used to say unconditional support. You are already putting a condition, oh, good performances. You will not get put. If you're wanting good performances from Indian football, sorry, my friend, you're very, very far away from that. That is not coming tomorrow or day after. That's not coming next week or next year. No, that's far, far away. RFL is a charitable organization of Reliance. Reliance Foundation. So, Reliance Foundation as such is the charitable arm. Let's not call it organization, right? Uh, um, You know, um, it is CSR, RFDL, or all Reliance Foundation, Development League, Reliance Foundation, Young Champs, Reliance Foundation, the other things that they do. So yeah, that's good. That they're doing it. If you don't perform over and over again, why will people not give Gali? Why should they give Gali? Have the decency. Be Criticize them on the points. I once had a long discussion with someone. Actually, the team had won something, the Indian team, but with someone, one of the players had a long discussion who said, "Oh, Dada, you said that, then that after that match, right?" And he remembered my tweet. Um, and I then explained him why I criticized him. And we had a lovely conversation on that matter, and he understood. And, we shook hands and he was happy about it. He said, "Yeah, you're right. But if you're just giving them plain gali, what's the use? Right? Why are you wasting your own time by giving gali? If you're in the stadium and giving gali, that's different. I always say if you're in a football stadium and you're abusing someone, different. Right? That's in the moment. But if you're taking your time to go onto social media to give people gali, then something, in my opinion, at least, is wrong. Right? Maybe I'm thinking in a wrong way, but that is to me, uh, 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 um, to me, that is something which is very, very clear to me. Tara, what do you think went wrong in Khalid? He wants to build a system with the players. What are they comfortable and they used to play, but he failed because of the models of these players are down. He's not that motivational guy for the team. Who? What system does Khalid want to build? My simple question to you would what you know um it is the right coach with the right understanding of international football and knowing what to do. So that's the problem. Another, I hope Reliance too many more like RFYC Nopang League and Coastal League. Yeah, let's see. This money they're putting in football is peel of the peanut for Reliance. Someone, okay. Indian cricketers face Gali 24/7, yet they've never blocked comments. In fact, when they lose against Pakistan, they and their family members with their threats on social media, still they never complained. So, Navar, do the cricketers handle their own social media? Just asking a question. Do you think that most of the big footballers, big sporting stars handle their social media? You know, so the problem is this whole Gali thing to me. Criticize them on the points. If you're criticizing them with Gali, you don't have a point. I don't know if you're getting that point from my side of view. That's why, guys, sometimes it's poor fan culture. And I say this to my German friends as well. You know, so right. Look at the rants and abuses against Manu players by their own fan base, but the players don't cry as they know they are not performing. No social media Gali in the field Gali. Bengali from Germany, I just said field Gali and on social media Gali is different. In England, you are now, if you are giving Gali and you're making threats, you are being sought after by the police. The way that you do Gali in Indian context, why did Virat Kohli leave India? Why did Virat Kohli shift to the UK? Because all of this. I've seen this with Ranbir Kapoor when I was working at Mumbai City. To be a star, a superstar in India on one side is nice because you have supposedly everything, but you don't have a normal life, right? I remember I met someone here in Germany last year. He said, "Wow, I can roam around here like a normal human being. Nobody bothers about who I am." So that is something which you need to get into it. You can listen. If you're in the stadium and giving Gali, 90 minutes, go ahead. Abuse the opponents, do it. But if you want to criticize people, that's what I, for example, do. That's why people talk to me and discuss with me the points. I've had this over the years with many, many players or coaches, right? Because I am not criticizing them in a generic term. I'm trying to criticize them on a point. Yeah. Agreed. The players should not block comments, but this way they are shutting the door for fans. No, they're not someone. Again, I see it differently because sometimes you have to, yeah, you know. So yeah, I don't think it's right. Kajim is a very defensive minded coach. He will not succeed. Yeah, Hitesh, that's my point. You want support, you have to be ready to face fan wrath if your performance for its sports club. Zoravar, I am fine with the wrath, but there is a certain decorum, right? Right? When England lost the Euros against Italy, all their footballers got gully on social media by the so-called civilized West supporters. No, they don't, didn't. See, and this is Zoravar, this is ignorance. Sorry to call this out. This is real ignorance because you don't know that not all of the players, because it was the black players who got the three guys who missed the penalties, right? Jadon Sancho, who was it? Whoever, right? I think Rashford and someone else. I think Saka, right? And people were arrested. People were fined because action reaction has to have consequences in this kind of behavior, you know. So that's the problem because if your logic is, oh, you know what, the guys in England do it, that's why we will also do it. This is BS to me. This is poor. And social media is a very, very bad and slippery slope, be it X, be it Insta as well, sadly, right? Because it is free for all. I can say abuse anyone. If someone has done a mistake, if someone's played bad, say it. Yeah. So you have a chat with any national team player. What is their view about this season? I mean, they wanted to play football and now they get to play football. Utsav, yes, I speak to players. I've spoken to players, and interestingly, one of the players I interviewed was Pritam Kotal. Again, it's Bengali. Do it out, translate it if you can't speak Bangla. And I think Pritam, the problem is, you know, that these players, so yeah, that's the that's the thing. In fact, the likes of Sagar's racism was social media. That's what I'm saying, Zoravar, and people got in trouble because of that. In India, has there been any consequences? No, right? No need to abuse them. Exactly, Kumar. Stay on the point, right? That's the point. Now, FST is out of ISL, so Reliance start a football club from Jamnagar, like what Tata owned Jamshedpur FC. Why, Tom? Again, my question to you would be why? Where does this logic um, come from, right? Not to forget how English fans vandalized of losing the Euros. At least Indians don't do that. Zaravar, you're trying to justify bad behavior with even worse behavior. English fans have a reputation. It's not a new thing. They've been doing this with their hooliganism for decades. And it was not football fans who did it, right? It was people who are trying to actually create trouble. So therefore, know the facts, right? When people use their hard-earned money, buy tickets, and they waste their time, but at the end of the day, we lose all matches, why will people support anymore and then cry for unlimited support? Mangali from Germany, then you haven't understood what football culture, what sporting culture is about. Sorry. Again, I'm trying to explain it to you, but again, if maybe I'm not getting through to you and understanding, because you want to only support something which is successful, right? Indian football is a hard slope, right? Football is, and I take a good example at the moment, right? I've got a lot of friends who are fans of Schalke 04, Schalke 04, top of the second German Bundesliga, who I saw them in preseason against Sevilla, and I would have said, you know what, these guys are getting relegated. You know, um, no chance, right? But they 61,000 people turning up. They would have even turned up if they were in the third tier, right? But they are now top of the second Bundesliga, and they're having a good time, right? They got Edin Dzeko signed for them, right? So football is a crazy thing. But if you're an Indian football fan, you will have more worse than good days. And if you don't accept the worst days, the bad days, the terrible days, you will never be able to celebrate the days that are good, right? Whenever we can criticize how they miss pass, how they conceded goals or something else. Yeah, of course. Exactly, Kumar. You can criticize the missed passes, you criticize how they conceded a goal, criticize you didn't play well, but keep it in decorum, keep it in a certain standard. So sport is a funny thing. I sometimes wonder, why do you care about 11 guys winning and waste my time and energy on them? Yeah, let's not forget 11 guys. Yeah. Can we go up to 16 in a team or 25, 30 in a squad? That is the charm of football, no? In my opinion, X is the most toxic social media platform at the moment. The moment I open X, it's filled with racism. So, for example, it's for you, it's with racism. For me, it's filled with hate speech in another sense. So, therefore, again, it is different for different people, right? Because the algorithm shows what you are watching, right? You mentioned hate speech, that's what I see. I don't see too much of racism, right? Another part of the world. Another, as per half of the clubs in the world must be shut by now. No, Kumar, what half? 90% of clubs, 90% of clubs, 90% of national teams fail. How many teams have won a World Cup or a Nation Cup or a Euro or African Cup of Nations or a whatever, Copa America, right? Most fans who support sporting entities and especially football are support failure, right? And if I look, let's say, a franchise system, let's say North America, in the US, you make fun of the New York Jets in American football because they're such a failure team, right? So that is part and parcel of it. No, not at all. Not only success, but there should be a genuine effort playing long balls and doing nothing. Not a good striker after Chitri. What do you expect? Bengali from Germany, if you, what do you expect them to play? You want them to play ticket? If you expect Indian footballers to play good football, creative football, forget, right? If you're thinking that they will play good football, don't watch the next 10 years then. They're not going to change and suddenly become good footballers. And doing nothing is your opinion, right? You think they're doing nothing. And good striker, hey, that's the system. You know. Sometimes I ponder, be it national team or club football, how is it going to have an impact on me? Yeah. Under Amorim, Man United played a certain way and the whole fan base supported him. He had a fall off with the owners and he left. That kind of effort should be shown by Indian players and fraternity. What are you comparing? Then you don't know the standard of Indian football at the moment. We are not better than the results there is, right? And at Man United, the whole thing could have gone the other way, right? So therefore, what again? Indian players, you are expecting them to play something which is not there. It doesn't exist. Rashford, Sancho, Saka, Otago, Rishabh Buse after Euro 21. Yeah, it is. Right. So that's the reality, man. The thing is, sport is supported majority country governments, whereas in India, government isn't willing. Is it really the majority? I don't even know if the majority of the world actually supports football in such a way or sports in such a way. It might seem perceived to be, right? A lot of the success is gotten through, yeah, that's it. Indian Raspberry play cricket, table tennis, but no one has excelled in football. Okay, who's excelled in table tennis and tennis? Or is it, as expats? And yeah, but we've had footballers, huh? Vikash Dogaso here, there. So we've had players who've excelled in football. The goal conceded against Bangladesh was hilarious to watch. Four players are charging towards one player, couldn't even stop him. Goku, you say hilarious, but that is the reality of when panic grips you, you suddenly take a decision, and then if all four of them take a wrong decision, at least one of them took a right decision and would have gone with the other player, would have been fine. Right? But that didn't happen that day, right? So therefore all of them were running after that one player. Why not try play good football? At least play good 60 minutes. We can lose 4-0 after 60 minutes. Even that is acceptable. You will be the first one. If they play good football and are thrashed 7-0, you will first one, they can't play football. Then play different. Right? Sina, have you known Yandanda, Dylan Markande, Neil Taylor? Yeah, Robert. Forget those. You are talking about not even the cream of the cream. We're talking about Vikas Dogaso, played a World Cup final. Michael Chopra played at Newcastle Sunderland in the Premier League, right? Aaron Winter comes to mind, Dutch former international. Another, I will be happy as football fan if Indian football reaches third round of World Cup qualifiers to qualify Asia Cup, perform well in Asian Cup. Yeah, but you're expecting too much. At this moment where we stand, you're expecting too much, Kumar. I said third round would be lovely, is a bonus. Asian Cup should have been must. And doing well in the Asian Cup, no, it's not happening for me. You saw where we were 2 years ago in the Asian Cup in a strong group. But those are realities. You and I will not be able to change those realities in which Indian football is at the moment. We're struggling left, right, and center, right? And therefore, for me, saying, oh, you know what, I'll play this, I will play that, you know. So, yeah. Oh, no, national team objective is to win the match. Kumar, theoretically, football's objective is to win matches. But most teams don't achieve that in the world. Don't forget that. You consider Michael Chopra a bigger footballer than Dhanda or Dylan Markanday. Zoravar, what are you comparing? Michael Chopra was a Premier League player. How many seconds of Premier League have Jan Danda and Dylan Markanday played in their life? A big zero. What are you comparing? He was England under 20 captain in a World Cup, right? Sorry, but Dylan Markanday and Jan Danda don't appear in the conversation. Even a Danny Bath is above these two guys, right? With all due respect, I would love to see them for an India shirt, but Chops was a different level, different caliber. So first match I saw live of Michael Chopra was a Champions League match of Bayer Leverkusen against Newcastle United. What will happen if Indian football fans give the same attitude towards Bangladesh match in Bangladesh and India? Goku, for that, forget Bangladesh, even Nepal, right? You know, um, yeah, they're more ferocious or whatever, right? This fan culture we're talking about, I remember in the SAF semi-finals and finals, and I spoke with a few people, right? There were a lot of, rather than supporting your team, there was a lot of negative chanting against the opponent. It was fine. Yeah, you can boo, but it wasn't to my liking. अरे भाई एशियन कप तो खेल पहले अभी उसके लायक भी नहीं बचे यार. Yeah, Simon, thanks. Is we're not qualifying for the Asian Cup, and you're talking about third round World Cup. You're talking Asian Cup good results. Our aim for 2031 is to get to the Asian Cup now. It is not a conversation of you and me saying we're going to get there. No, now it is trying to get to that level. It is a very, very tough ask for Indian football at the moment, if you ask me. If you ask me, um, if we need to get our things sorted in the next few months, 1.5 years, and then we'll see. We aren't the dawn of SAF anymore after all. Yeah, Simon, sadly, that is one of the realities. So for me, I would like to see better times ahead. But we have to go through this phase of failure, maybe extended phase of failure, sadly. And then maybe down the road, somewhere, there's a light at the end of the tunnel. That's my fear. It's my fear where we are, where we stand, and um, yeah, let's wait and see what happens. So yeah, no OCI or PIO will improve temporary information. No, Hitesh, to me, once you get players of origin into the system, once you get players of Indian origin to play for you, an overseas citizen, eh, you know, um, they will improve your quality because our quality at the moment is, yeah, poor. Has Michael Chopra become manager now? Where is he at the moment? No, Zoravar, he is not a coach or in any other role active in football. Another performance like the 2019 AFC Asian Cup under Stephen Kumar, you're expecting something which is not possible. Where is the quality in the team to do that performance? Do we have that kind of player? Right. So therefore, for me, I would love us. See, we're not even qualifying for 2027. If you see Where we were in 2019, we were till the 89th minute in the knockout stage of that competition. 89th minute, huh? Foul from Ronaldo. 2024, we don't score a goal and go out of the tournament group stage. You know, and 2027, we don't qualify. Right? We would have, yeah, for the first time qualified for three consecutive tournaments, but we didn't. And that is the reality that I and you and we have to live with. Right. So therefore, for me, that's the challenge. No, that is the challenge that I see, and it's yeah, very difficult, very difficult, and sad to see where we stand at this moment in time. Right, 1 hour 41 minutes, which means 1 hour or 101 minutes. Sorry, 1 hour 41 minutes with 1 hour. Yeah, 16 likes so far. I think we can do better, guys. We had 29 the day before, 42 before that. Thanks a lot, and not only like, share it with other people as well. And if you haven't, do subscribe to the channel. Help me grow the channel. We're 3,738 at the moment, because these are the most honest conversations in Indian football. So therefore, we need your support. Watch the short videos. And thanks as always for that. Do you think someone like Jan can bring a similar revolution in Indian football as Hamza brought in Bangladesh? Zoravar, not alone. As much as I like Jan as a player, but Hamza Chaudhuri is a more complete footballer, a more established footballer, right? To be very honest. Look at Pakistan, very good example, right? Pakistan having the same problem because they don't have a player of the level of Hamza Chaudhary. And Bangladesh have done it very smartly, wisely, and it's worked for them. So for us, Jan Danda alone will not do it. Jan can do it. Dylan can do it. Ishan Hundal. I would love to see before he retires a Danny Bath play for us. But again, it's not a one man job. We'll see India and FIFA World Cup in a lifetime, and I still believe it. I hate it, but I do. Orko, I've given up on that to say yes or no. Right? I'm turning 50 this year, so I'm getting old. I don't know how old I will get overall, but no idea. Sir, is the work permit rule for the UK really strict for 3-4 divisions? Utsav, it's very strict for all four professional leagues. So yes, be it Premier League, Championship, League One, League Two, and there, um, um, yeah, and below that you can't even play fifth or sixth year, which is semi-pro amateur. India will host FIFA World Cup and play. Let's say Bengali from Germany. Given the circumstances at the moment, that is still a while away. I think if you look at international football, I'm a fan of Kerala Blasters. See, English clubs are doing the same thing to break down a mentality of other players with verbal, is to bring up any kind of personal life matters into the field, and chanting Kerala are doing the same thing. Okay, didn't know that. If we cannot sort things out this year by May to September for the long term, things could very well kill any chances of the little hope left for the game here done. Simon, that's dangerous to say, but yes, I do agree with you on that. Onada, do you think Steven's system is best for national team? A person like Steven? I don't know if it's the best, if it's the right or not, but Steven, it worked. On not one occasion, but on two. So yes, but the question is, if you have someone like a Steven or someone has the system like Steven, will it work? It might not. You never know. No? It needs to click. Is there an Indian origin player in UK? So we were talking about Jan Danda and Dylan Markandi. Yes, you have lots of players of Indian origin in the English system. Go, but easy, sir. I know it's difficult to sometimes converse given the knowledge gap between you and the audience. Yeah, but Simon, you know what? I'm getting old, and I think I have to be a little bit more direct and call these things out, because I feel it makes no sense to sugarcoat things. We've been sugarcoating things for the last 25, 27, 28 years, and it hasn't brought us anything. We need to see things the way they are. We should appoint foreign coach at junior level. Yeah, are we? Get the money and do it. I don't see India participating in any FIFA World Cup, at least in the current generation, maybe 2, 3 generations after, or if the government decides to host a FIFA World Cup, maybe post 2035. Yeah, let's see Zoravar. India women have more chance to play in the World Cup in future than men. Hitesh, I think that is also a danger, which is a false friend, because more and more nations in Asia are picking up. You know, you know, and for me, now is the time. Otherwise, it might get a little tough. What is the reason Ryan Williams joined Indian football? Just curious. Magali from Germany. He wanted to play international football. There was an opportunity. He was already playing in India. He liked it in India. He liked Indian Super League. He's good friends with people like Sunil or Randy. They told, hey, Indian national team, come on, get there. And that's how it's done. And JSW head, so brilliant. And I thought Danny Bart is retired until I see Vicky. No, he's at Derby County, Kumar, and playing actually well over there. I still believe that this haphazard league was a mistake, won't help Indian football in long run. So, however, let's see. I think my mood has shifted because I see a fan code coming forward, joining in. Um, Now the job is on the AFF, on the clubs, and I hope that they find the right people to come in and help because otherwise it's not going to happen, right? So therefore, for me, yeah. So um, yeah, it's interesting challenge. Let's wait and see what happens on that front. But at the moment, it's difficult to say where we stand. Where are we? And yeah, that to me is the big question. Huh? Where are we? Where again? Um, and a lot of lives depend on it that the ISL somehow happens, and therefore we are in this situation where we are in. It's not easy. I think it's very complex, very complicated, but it's for the clubs, for the AFF to sort out. And as I said, there are certain positions in and around the AFF which need to be filled, and otherwise things will not happen. And therefore, yeah, very important, very, very important. In women's football too, many countries are getting in diaspora football, so time is running out for women's as well. Yeah, don't forget the diaspora. The Middle East is waking up to the reality of women's football, right? The Saudis are trying to do it. The Qataris, the Emiratis, Iran has already come. So let's see. Why can't Modi resort to soccer diplomacy with EU like ping pong diplomacy with China? Or just ask the government. I have no clue. They do cricket diplomacy, no? Now where's the money to run IW and IW2 without 50 crore from FSTL? Kumar, add to that. Where is the money to run I League 2, I League 3 without it? Where is the whole system of the AFF to run? No, that's the problem. Is this whole thing is successful? And I said, would you give plaudits to FF? Yeah, Simon, why not? If it's successful, surely. Surely. I came to know that FanCode is giving 20% discount for applying code FEB20. So after discount, it's 240. See, Simon? Sorry, someone. It's great. Right. Just because why don't you try coaching in India? With your experience and knowledge, that will help the Indian football as well. Maybe you can also bring some good players from Germany to India. Man from Germany, I'm not a coach. I've never been a coach. I'm not a coach. I have coached for the fun of it. I played for the fun of it. I'm not a coach. So if I'm not a coach, not like other people who think that they are coach and sell themselves as a coach, I'm a management person, and I've tried my things, I've done my things, I've set up Mumbai City Football Club, I've set up the Academy of Round Glass Punjab. Been involved with the roadmap of Indian football. So therefore I've done, but yeah. So coaching, thank you very much. I bypass that. Modi is busy doing cricket. Yeah, not only him, also his foreign minister and all. No? They do cricket diplomacy. So where I say, guys, is that of value to us? Is that the right thing to do? And in my opinion, no, it's not. So, but that's what these guys are doing, right? So therefore, that's the danger of India and where we stand today. That they do cricket diplomacy, right? So yeah. Soccer diplomacy, I think ASEAN nations used it with Holland. It paid dividend. I'm sure you would help. Arijit, ASEAN countries have not done any soccer diplomacy with the Netherlands or any other countries. They approach the players. It has nothing to do with the state government, the country governments and all, right? Another Kanachaba should leave. Yes, okay, Kumar. I have a question. You said once that there are some coaches at youth level who are trying to revive something. Why isn't any player coming out from these academies? Oh, Sarawar. The problem is the lack of competition, and then some of these smaller academies, their best players are taken away, and then if you go into another system and the system is not good, then you have a problem, right? So to me, if you want to ask me, that is the real reason why we are where we are at this moment in time. Yeah, that's brutal reality, sad realities, but brutal realities of so-called Indian football where we stand today. And now, did AFC and FIFA is watching? Yeah, of course they always are. Yeah, current situation and before current situation, they're watching. They know. They observe. Yeah, and so therefore, for me, um, um, they know what is happening. Then why not Indian football manager maybe and try to dethrone Kalyan? That's what Chaudhuri. Banane from Germany, it doesn't work that way, right? It doesn't work that way that I tomorrow come and say, hey, listen, I know better, bye, you're gone. Football doesn't work that way, right? So it's not, nobody is waiting for me. I'm not waiting for India. I do my work. I speak. I use my voice to speak about Indian football and support Indian football whenever, wherever I can. Um, yeah, so that's the thing. Cricket is not growing. Huge gulf of class. Bengal Ranji U17 side would thump a Malaysia Cambodia cricket team. Ajit. Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. So the players are getting poached by the academies are made into worse ballers. Yeah, yeah. I know two or three, and that's the reality. Man, I want to hear the kickoff whistle. Yeah, Simon, it is 9 days away. Let's football can be heard, and yeah, let's wait and see. Who are the women diaspora players in foreign women's league? Gitesh, we've got quite a few in the UK. We had one in Germany as well, Manju Wilder. You've got some in the American system, and especially in the colleges. So there are tons of them as well if you want to attract OCIs. If the next ISL season does not happen, then AFC and FIFA will put normalization committee. No, Kumar, they have not. That's not their role. I've had enough of reliving the previous seasons to the point of getting bored, says Simon. Yeah, there's not much, right? Do you see any upcoming young diaspora footballer who you believe will become the next big foreign league star? Uh, there are one or two who I see in the UK was 17, 18. Let's see if they can break through. I'm not going to put names out as I always don't. Yeah, let's see. There is quite a bit of diaspora talent out there. Yeah. As this way, any club in Germany, how's the ground level football in Germany? What is the difference? At the moment, I'm not associated with any team. I've worked um, for Bayern Munich, for Borussia Dortmund, for Eintracht Frankfurt, Hoffenheim, for the German league, for the German FA. So I've worked for them on the entities. And the ground level, listen, we've got a system, and the difference is that our system works with all its problems. It's not perfect, but it works. A few years back, Sasha J was started for great thing, but he fiddled off. Yeah, so I have a lot of these guys around the world. It's not an Indian only problem. A lot of players are hyped, and of course, Sai was being at Sheffield United being spoken about because he's Indian origin, right? And sadly, he's not kept up to the expectations. According to you, what India should do to play 2036 Soccer World Cup, could India host 2031? India 2031, yeah, and 2035, I don't know what World Cup year. Arijit, 2034, 2038 are the World Cup years. I don't think so at the moment. Given the realities, things would have to radically change in the next 5 years for us. You know. Basketball, rugby, India has done better than football. Would you agree? Arijit, I don't follow basketball or rugby that much to know what India does or doesn't do. It's easier. Again, don't compare any sport with football. Football has 211 associations and members. No other sport in the world has that. So therefore, don't compare football with any other team sport. It is easier to play in every other team sport. And basketball has been regularly played in Asia Cup, right? So are we doing really well? People tell me, yes, been telling me for years we're doing well, but for example, in basketball, they are unable to start a proper league, right? So that's the thing. In basketball, India is doing pretty well, yeah, relatively. Which city do you live in? A small town called Remscheid in the west of Germany, close to Cologne. The quality drop in the Premier League is concerning. It's all about playing the Arsenal way, it seems. Simon, it is about, England seems to be moving away from its phase of technical, tactical geniuses. Now it's about running again, I feel, right? And you see a player like Florian Wirtz needing a few weeks, months to settle in, and now sort of seems to be settling in. Not impressed, right? So therefore, these are certain things. Let's wait and see what happens, right? Right. Nearly 2 hours. We're at 1 hour 56 minutes of this live. Once more, a reminder: 18 of you, if you haven't, do leave a like behind, and yeah, share it with other people to join in our conversation. I think we try and cover a lot of areas. 16 likes only so far, guys. If you haven't, and subscribe to the channel, seems someone has ended his or her subscription with 3,737 again, as like at the start of the show today. Um, yeah, we need to grow the community. The ISL is starting, and again, we need to get more people interested in it. Hopefully, next week onwards, we'll have more people joining us in our conversations. Another, if we want to qualify for World Cup, we need radical changes, massive investment in coaches, grassroots, and youth development by clubs, academies, and AIFF. Yeah, Kumar. Mainly by clubs and academies and by individuals educating themselves, plus on AIFF on top of that, state associations. But also, we need to, I think we can fast track it by getting OCIs and PIOs. So, therefore, all of these things are somewhat interlinked. Beating China in basketball is like beating New Zealand in cricket, Sweden Davis Cup, and Switzerland, Portugal football. India did that in basketball. I don't think beating China in basketball is beating Switzerland and Portugal in football. Sorry. That comparison, Sweden and Davis Cup, I don't even know what the standard is. And New Zealand, again, Arijit, I don't know where you get these examples from, right? Does Australia regress? They one time had Mark Viduka, Cahill, and Kewell. The talent pool seems to regress. But yeah, Renal, Australia has also, that's why have they been trying to get players of origin out of especially the UK, right? What do you consider the most comical goal in football in the last 2 decades? Up in the Mark Flecken drink water. Drinking water is still iconic. Ah, MS for Duisburg, Mark Flecken, yeah, most probably. That most probably would be, yeah, good one. Good one. Zoravar. Like it. We need to talk about world football and go a little bit away from Indian football, at least for sometimes. Only from Germany, we can. No? We've done this in this chat channel, spoken about Champions League, about the leagues in Europe. But again, I want to keep the focus and yeah. Do more collaboration to get visibility and content. Yeah, Kumar, doing that again. But again, I can't force myself on people. Hey, listen, you have to do an interview with me. No, Sportfolio discussed, came to me. Same happened with Chakde. So therefore, I am not the person to enforce myself and say, listen, you need to do that, right? I'm not going to go to uh, um, uh, um, um, uh, some people. So let's see. Australia, England are best sporting nations, good at all sports. Or is it? No. Your best sporting nation most probably is United States of America, multi sports. Uh, does England, Australia fall into it? I would even put a Japan or a Germany. There are tons of countries. Do you support any club? Yeah, I support Bayern Munich. Jan seems to struggle in Hearts, then gone to Dundee. Do you see him getting back to UK system like in football championship or even League One? Generally could, but again, it's always, let's see. In England, cost of living is bad, economy is struggling. Will it impact English football? No, Hitesh. Look at how much they're spending, so it has nothing to do with it. Why not talk about Bundesliga? It's also an interesting league with some many good teams and not a one-team league. Only for football, if people ask me questions about the Bundesliga, I speak about it. Again, I try and answer the queries. That's why the name of this Indian football discussion was changed to Indian football and more, so to say, to enable you to do that. Now, South African players play a lot of sports. Okay. Now the narrative needs to be busted, spreading by Scooter, Raul Mera and others. Yeah, Kumar, it needs to be. I try and do much, but is it? I was happy Gotha won Germany's two as a performance in desperate time. He left Eintracht Frankfurt and Harpreet was supposed after a long-term injury. But I don't know if where Harpreet has gone after Eintracht. He still is without a club. Yeah, he left Eintracht last summer. Um, but I haven't heard anything where he's joined since then. Um, yeah, he was injured. I know he was injured, but I haven't heard anything since then. India's bidding towards the AFC Asian Cup 2031. What do you think about it? Avi, I said it earlier. I think it's good. Are we going to be successful? I have no clue. To be very honest with you, there is this hope that we could, but it's difficult, and we'll have to see what happens. But to me, yeah, very difficult to say it's going to work or not. But so therefore, for me, I'm not sure if it's going to work or not. But will be interesting to wait and watch. People doesn't know much about USA. The system is so good. Every university school level system is so perfect competitive. Even soccer, they're a good team. Yeah, they've got the best sporting infrastructure at school at university level. How important is hybrid football? Do you think goalkeeper of 169 extra modern football? No. What is it? At least 1 meter 80, 180, 85, 190 even better. 169 goalkeeper. I don't know anyone at that height who's a goalkeeper anywhere in the world at the moment. In my opinion, given Indian football current situation, hosting Asia Cup is masterstroke. Yeah, but Zorawar, you don't know, this thing will not be decided next week or next year. So therefore, maybe the situation changes. The hope is that it changes, but therefore for me, yeah, it's a difficult one. It's a difficult one as always, but I would hope that it does. Did you watch Arsenal Chelsea? No, only I was watching the German Cup. Leverkusen versus St. Pauli. Jorge Campos, obviously one from Sri Lanka, I think is in the league. Campos was not once Campos, Mexican goalkeeper. How tall was he? 1 second. That's an interesting question. He was short. Oh, 1.7. Yeah, okay. Yeah, but he was an exception at a different age. Japan school football is also world class. Yeah, so not only school, but also university level, right? So therefore, that's it. Right, 2 hours, 3 minutes. Let me slowly get to an end of this conversation of ours. Again, try to answer all your questions. A lot of stuff regarding fan culture. Um, hoping for the best as always. And everyone, keep on supporting Indian football. It needs you, it needs me, it needs us. And won't be doing a live tomorrow, maybe on Saturday. And keep on supporting Arun Foot here on YouTube. Show me your love with likes, with shares. Watch the short videos, hype those videos, and watch my stuff on Insta, on X, arunfoot.com. And I'll be back, as I say, most likely on Saturday with another live Saturday, 1 week before the kickoff of the Indian Super League. Gute Nacht, Zoravar. Good night. And I'll catch you soon.